What's up, y'all? How's it going today? I know, I've been gone for a while. It's been a crazy couple weeks, man. I got sick. I had the flu. The weather in Chicago has been terrible, so I got sick. And I had to get over that, you know, my voice, everything. I had lost my voice. Long story, but welcome back. We have a new video today. We're gonna be talking about medium format versus full frame cameras. Do you need medium format cameras? I've been lucky enough to shoot with two different medium format cameras in the last few years, and I'm just gonna give you my opinion on both of them. Give it the pros and cons, see if you actually need them, if there's any benefit to them, and maybe help you make a decision. And at the end of the video, here's something I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put a bunch of images from my full frame cameras and from medium format cameras. Then you guys get to decide which ones are medium format and which ones are full frame pictures. See if you can tell the difference, because I think you can tell the difference. After you do your editing, especially if you do editing, you can't really tell the difference, especially these days where we have 64, 65 megapixel Sony A7iii 4s that have just more megapixels than some of the medium format cameras. The medium format cameras I've used the Pentax 645Z that came out of maybe 7 years ago now, maybe 6 years ago now. That was a really good camera. I bought it used. The lenses are actually cheap. Awesome sensor, awesome image quality. Autofocus was crap, of course. With most medium format cameras, autofocus is always crap. And it was huge. It was this big old camera. I never used it because it was just so big. I'd rather go with my little Sony RX1. I'm gonna make a video about that Sony RX1, by the way. Amazing little camera. I'm gonna talk about that camera. You can find them I found one on mpb.com yesterday for $460. $460 for a Sony RX1. We're gonna talk about that. So back to the Pentax. It was this huge, bulky camera. I guess if you're looking to impress people with the size of your camera, that's a camera you could, you know, carry around and just show off, hey, I got a big old camera. But for most uses, it's just too much camera. It's too big. I used it for about a year. And I just noticed it was just sitting and gathering dust, because first, it's heavy. It draws a lot of attention. The way I shoot, I like to be on location where I'm not, you know, more inconspicuous. So that just wasn't working for me. So I had to get rid of the camera. That's one thing about medium format cameras, especially the older ones. They were just big. They were just gigantic. Have you seen the Phase 1 cameras? They're expensive. They're huge. I don't know if you really need them. I don't know. I did some research and I realized the IQ3, IQ4 that they have now is 150 megapixels. You don't need 150 megapixels. I've found out that the sweet spot for me personally is 24 megapixels. It's perfect. 24 megapixels does 99% of everything I need. If you need more, you can always rent a camera. You don't have to buy a camera. Let's say you're doing a big project where you need to print, even if you need to print for a billboard, 24 megapixels is more than enough, because no one's looking at your billboard up close. Everyone's looking at your billboard from like 100, 200 feet away on the expressway. So you don't need those megapixels. If you're printing photo books, if you're printing albums, if you're printing anything, 24 megapixels is more than enough. I used to shoot with a Sony A7S, 12 megapixels. That was more than enough for weddings. I used it to shoot weddings because of the low light capabilities. I really enjoyed using that camera. But you just couldn't crop. And sometimes you just want to crop your photos. When you crop, you lose a lot of information with a 12 megapixel camera. That was the only downside to it. I remember I also had a Nikon DF. I used that was only 16 megapixels and just amazing low light. The only problem with that camera was the autofocus was terrible. That was the camera I left before upgrading to the Sony A7iii that I'm using as my workhorse camera. We're gonna talk about the Sony A7iii too. Beast of a camera, wow. So, adjust my hat. Hat game is on point. Good. I also got the Fuji GFX 50R. I hate that camera. Oh, I hate that camera so much. Camera ruined my life, man. Yeah. The first one I bought had these it just, when you look through the viewfinder, after a few seconds of turning on the camera, I bought it in Japan. It just turned red. Everything just turned red. The viewfinder, the image, just red all over everything. So I called Fuji. I said, hey, I just bought this camera brand new. This is the problem. Can you replace the camera? They said, okay, send it back. I sent it back to New Jersey. They sent me another one, and I thought it was working fine. I went and did a whole photo shoot. I had a model that flew in from, where did she fly in from? From Colorado. I had a makeup artist, hairstylist, wardrobe stylist, everything. We did a whole photo shoot production. And I go to do this photo shoot, and after maybe 10 pictures, all the photos that came out of that photo shoot had these lines on them. Just horrible lines through all the images. All the raw files had these lines, ruined my whole photo shoot. I didn't realize it while I was doing the photo shoot. I saw it, but I just hoped, because I only had the camera with me. I didn't have a backup camera on the photo shoot. I just hoped it was just the viewfinder that was messing up. It wasn't actually showing up on the images, because I was seeing it on the viewfinder. I get home and all my images are ruined. I call Fuji, I complain. They say, oh, send the camera back. I'm like, I just lost the whole photo shoot. At least give me something in compensation. They didn't give me anything. Fuji did not give me anything for that. No. Let's just move on. I'm still, you know, they sent me a new camera. After a while I sold it. I didn't like the GFX 50R. It's an ugly camera. There's no character to that camera. Coming from Fuji, I'm shocked, because Fuji makes some of the prettiest cameras. The X Pro 3, the X100V, beautiful cameras. But the the GFX stuff is just ugly, bulky, big. Ugh, no. Even the image quality. The GFX used to blow out highlights. Horribly blow out highlights, which you would not expect from medium format sensor, because you think they have the best dynamic range, but no, just horrible with highlights. So what I'm trying to say is, it looks like that's the holy grail of photography. You think, oh, I need medium format to get to this level of photography. I need medium format to, you know, take me to the next level. Not really. It really won't make a difference. Your images are gonna look the same. The only thing you're gonna notice, it's a lot more tasking on your computer. That's all it's gonna be. Your computer is just gonna be struggling to churn through those raw files. It's gonna take up way more space than you need to. You'll be running out of hard drive space all the time. Editing's gonna take twice as long, because you're doing double the resolution, double the data. And the autofocus is slow, it's huge. I really did not see any advantage to having medium format cameras. I tried a couple of them too, just to see. Because you see the masters using medium format cameras, and you're like, oh, if I use a medium format camera, I'll be able to have pictures like Annie Leibovitz, for example. But she's an amazing photographer. It's not the camera. She could shoot amazing photos with an iPhone if you gave it to her. Ooh, that's an idea for a video. I'm gonna use a cell phone for a photo shoot, see how that turns out. My models might be upset with me, but I'll try it. You never know. If you have good lighting, you never know. Yeah, it all comes down to really good lighting anyway. So medium format versus full frame, even versus APS-C. Sometimes I don't think you can tell the difference. If I put an APS-C image and a medium format image next to each other, I don't think you can tell the difference. No. From my experience, it's almost negligible. I know that some cameras have better color science than other cameras. I know Hasselblad has really cool color science. I know Fuji has really good color science, especially with greens. There's something Fuji does with their greens that Sony just can't really master with greens. Sony greens just look dull, but Fuji greens are really vibrant. Even when you push them in post, you can really see. I think another thing, maybe one place where medium format cameras might actually have a little bit of an advantage is just the latitude to which you can push your files. You know, they have a little more latitude where you can like push your colors without getting any banding or weird artifacts. But that's about it. Save your money, guys. Invest in other things like nicer. Even medium format's supposed to have really shallow depth of field because of the bigger sensor. First and foremost, it's not that big of a increase in sensor size, so it's like 1.7 times bigger, 1.5 times bigger than the full frame sensor. So it's not that much bigger in terms of sensor size, and they don't have really fast lenses. Like on full frame, you can find a 50mm 1.2 or 50mm 1.4. That'll just give you that shallow depth of field if that's your thing. It's not really my thing. I'm not a big fan of shallow depth of field. I feel like it's like a crutch for photography. But Medium format lenses, they only go to like a 2.8. All the medium format lenses I've ever had were 2. I had a 75 2.8, I had a 150 2.8 on the Pentax. On the Fuji, I had a 63 2.8. So a 2.8, you're literally getting a 50 mil. With the 65, you're getting a 63. You're getting like a 50 mil f2 equivalent in terms of when you do the multiplication and stuff. So it's not even that much better in terms of shallow depth of field. So you're not even getting the shallow depth of field you'd expect from a medium format sensor because you don't have the lenses that give you the blurred backgrounds like you want from a full frame sensor. So full frame sensors give you faster lenses. I can't say sharper because that's relative, but they'll give you better autofocus all day. They're smaller, they're lighter, they're more manageable. You can do your sync speeds. I remember with my Fuji, I couldn't even sync faster than 1/25 of a second for strobing. That just messed up my whole lighting situation. Those Fuji cameras, man, I can't even, it's just, oh. So I went through so much with those cameras, they traumatized me, they really did. Maybe that's why I got sick. No, I'm just kidding. I got sick because it's the cold, it's the flu season. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. So I'm gonna show you guys the images. Tell me what you think. I'm gonna do, the first set of images are gonna be blank. I won't tell you anything. You just guess. See if you can guess which ones are medium format, which ones are full frame. I might even throw some APS-C shots in there if I have some that I haven't showed you guys already. I don't have a lot of APS-C cameras, only the little XE3. So you be the judge. See if you can tell which ones are medium format, which ones are full frame, and see if it's worth it to you. If you can't tell the difference, then you don't need it, because it's just you're investing into a whole system that you don't really have to. So let me know what you think. This is a quick video. I wanted to make sure I kept up with my uploads even though I've been out for a while. You can probably still hear it in my voice. It's been a rough couple weeks, man, but I'm back. I'm gonna go back to my schedule, and I'll be seeing you guys next week with a new video. I should be doing a photo shoot very soon. I'm not even gonna say anything about it, but it's gonna be big. It's gonna be a big one. When it happens, you guys will be stunned because I'm putting a whole lot of effort into this one. So please subscribe. My subscribers have been growing steadily. I really love that. Thank you guys so much for subscribing. It makes all this worth it. And I love the comments. I love the positivity, the encouraging stuff you guys are saying in the comments. I really appreciate it. It makes me so happy. Just always puts a smile on my face. Thank you so much. And I'll try my best to give you guys solid quality content and stuff that you don't usually see. So please, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you're already here, thumbs up will really help. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Goodbye.
Ya no sabes lo que pasa. El primer verso, papi. Lo que manda aquí la clave. Este ritmo guaguanco, esto es lo que existe. Y también está mi chamaco, nadie nos resiste. Aquí estamos bravos, la chema tan brava. Esta vida es brava, y yo también soy bravo. Por eso lo que repica son los cueros. Aquí lo que suena fuego, mueve la abuela el pescadero, hasta lo mueve el aduanero. Norte al sur, lo vemos viendo, la orilla del mar, nos ve sonriendo. Y yo sé lo que tenemos no es para juego y esto divino. Por eso lo que hacemos gritar, tu mano con ritmo letales. Saben lo que pasa. Mi abuelita ahora tiene masa. Aquí lo que falta el cajón. En esta jungla soy el gran león. Armen las cosas en el malecón. Lo que gozamos es salsa y son. Ya saben lo que repita son los cueros. Tengo la clave, soy el suelo. vida a fuego. Por eso quiero una vida suave, soy sincero. Que viva mi gente, que viva la raza. De noche a día aquí se trabaja. Igual la gozamos, bailamos en plaza. Quieto, calidad pura en todas sus casas. Que viva mi gente, que viva la raza. De noche a día aquí se trabaja. Igual la gozamos, bailamos en plaza. Quieto, calidad pura en todas sus casas.